Thank you everyone for joining me. My name is Michael Smith. I'm the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome Canada. And yes, it's time for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. So yes, what machine will we be talking about today? And I have so many goodies to show. So yes, I'll get Tanya to pan the camera over for the big reveal. Ta-da! Yes, the big reveal is the fabulous MemoryCraft 9850. Now, I'm shocked I have not already talked about this machine. It has been in my classroom since I set up my classroom about a year ago, and I've had the 9850 ever since, and it's one of those machines where, if I pop a button, or I one day had a little rip in my shirt and I had a little rip in my hem, I just seem to grab, or I need a quick embroidery, I always seem to grab the 9850. It is one of those fabulous, versatile 3-in-1 machines. So sewing, quilting, and embroidery. So perfect if you are thinking of embroidery, you'd like to get involved, but you really don't know, how much am I really going to get into it? This is the perfect machine for you. Ideally, if you could have a separate, sewing machine and a separate embroidery machine, well, that's great. But then maybe you don't have either the budget for the two machines, or you don't have the space for the two machines. This is your perfect combo machine all in one. Certainly does not take up a lot of room on your table. And the embroidery carriage, the one thing I love about the Janome combo machines is the embroidery carriage attaches to the back of the machine. It just clips in place. You really wouldn't even know that it's there, but it's there whenever you need it. You can leave it on the machine even when you're doing regular sewing, and it adds just a couple of extra inches across the back of the bed here to support your project. So it's fine to totally leave it on. The only thing, when you're going to transport your machine, you really should take that embroidery carriage off just for safety. But other than that, you can leave it on, and then again do regular sewing, quilting, embroidery, whatever is up to you.
We have one comment.
Cheryl
yes. Says that she loves the patches on your jeans.
Why, thank you.
Jean, right?
Absolutely. Yes. These have become my Instagram jeans, and this cute little red truck actually was a promo from the Janome.ca website. We had a promotion going on at the time, this big, a big red truck truckload event, and this was a free embroidery. Tanya actually drew this, and our fabulous educator from Montreal, Celine, digitized it, and then Alan, our marketing and advertising guru, put it up on the website. So this was a free embroidery at the time for a promotion. And then, yes, I forget even what machine I stitched this out on, but when you find a design that you love on another website, on our Janome.ca site, we still have the promotions for, our fabulous mini duckling scissors. So you can go on the Janome.ca site, and under offers and promotions tab, there is a little link to this cute little mini duckling design that, again, Tanya drew and Celine digitized, and Alan has it there on the website. So you can download the embroidery design onto a USB stick, and then, yes, you can bring it into your 9850. So you too can have some Instagram jeans. So how perfect.
We have a happy Pride Month.
Oh, yay!
Evelyn Fiedler says,
wonderful.
Happy Pride Month.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Evelyn. Yes, I was so excited yesterday, starting June 1st. It was my sister's birthday, Marilyn Monroe's birthday, who I loved. Yes, Marilyn would have been 95. Do you believe that? And June 1st, yes, starts off Pride Month. So thank you, Evelyn, for acknowledging. We're always, I think, Pride should be every day. Yes. And certainly more, reason to share the love. So thank you. That's wonderful. And we certainly love the 9850. There is so much to love about it. So as usual, I could spend all day and talk about it, but we'll just try to quickly go through the machine with so many wonderful things you can do. So yes, sewing, quilting, and embroidery. So if you would, maybe that you already have a machine but you'd like to upgrade, then we get into some more sophisticated computer technology without it being too overwhelming. And again, the price point is quite, quite reasonable. So you get a lot of those higher end features without specifically the higher end price tag. So lots of convenient push button controls like our stop start, And our reverse button, the lock stitch, the needle up and down, the scissor button that everybody loves, so you can trim your threads that way. We still have the speed control. Again, these features are on a lot of Janome machines. We do have a needle threader, so that's fabulous. Now, we do have not an auto presser foot lift. This is still a manual presser foot lift with the black bar at the back, but we have this wonderful, this is irregular, this wonderful extra high presser foot lift. Yeah, it's like I can get my finger totally under there. So this is easily about 1/2 inch or so. So if you're doing, again, lots of thicker, heavier layers, you're sewing some tote bags, then this is great with this extra high presser foot lift. You can easily accommodate those thicker layers. So that's wonderful. So when we go over here, we've got about 8 1/4 inch throat space. Beautiful LED lighting all across the top here and around the needle. So even if you have an older machine that's still performing, it's still doing good, but let's say you're getting a little older and your eyes are maybe a little weaker, by upgrading to a newer machine, you will get that beautiful LED lighting. So that's definitely one reason to upgrade to a new machine. For that better lighting. But then also when we go over to our beautiful LCD screen, oh yes, it's worth upgrading to a new machine because of all these lovely push button controls. So here I'm in my regular sewing mode. So we have our regular utility stitches. And then the great thing about these more sophisticated machines with the computer technology, again, it tells you, so stitch number 1 is my straight stitch in the utility category. It tells me even what presser foot to use is the A foot, which I have on the machine. Now, pretty much all of our Janome presser feet are lettered. So I did a series at the beginning of our Instagram, a year ago already, our Janome HQ Instagram, called A to Z with Janome. So the A foot, for example, is our zigzag foot. So I demoed, how to use that foot, and then the various feet that I'm about to talk about. I demoed, I think, all of those on the A to Z with Janome series. So you can go back to the Janome HQ YouTube channel, or go back to Janome HQ, the Instagram page, the IGTV icon on Instagram, to then review all of the different presser feet. But it's great that the machine, again, tells you all that information. Now you can go into this little arrow plus and minus here is the adjust key. So you can go in there, and this is where you would refine if you want to change your stitch width. We have 91 needle positions on the 9850. It is a 9mm wide needle plate, so that refers to the opening of the needle plate. So I can move this, all the way over to the right, or move it all the way to the left, and actually you'll see the little icon change on the screen, so that's cool. Now we can go in and change the stitch length as well. This is for our needle tension, so we can adjust to go up or down here, so we can totally customize. Even though the machine is already kind of optimally set up for us, we can still go in to customize. We still have complete control. Now, don't worry if you start adjusting this and go, oh gee, I forget what it was set at. We don't need to write everything down, because it has the computer technology in it, and it does some thinking for us. We can just hit the default button here, and that's going to restore the settings back to factory settings. So again, we don't have to write anything down. Now we do have a favorite stitch capability, is the FS. And again, lots of instruction in your manual on how to do the favorite stitch. And I did, I think it was the Continental M7 a couple of weeks ago that I talked about favorite stitch. It's a function on a lot of Janome machines. So you can totally customize all these settings and save it as a favorite stitch. So then you can go back to it. You don't have to adjust it every time. So again, it does some thinking for you. So that's wonderful. Now, then when we go into things like, oh, here, this number 5 on our presser foot shows our presser foot pressure, and we can adjust that. When I pop the lid open, look at all those gorgeous 200 stitches available for this machine. And we have a dial up here. Again, a number of Janome machines have this presser foot pressure dial, so we can turn it up to increase the pressure or turn it down to decrease the pressure. And here on our LCD screen, again, depending on what stitch we have selected, it will tell you in this stitch number 6, for example, is the little lightning zigzag, great to use on knit fabric, for example. Then it recommends lightening the foot pressure to a number 4. So even though you're manually adjusting this dial up at the top, the machine is still telling you on the LCD screen how to adjust your machine. So again, perfect for that. There's a little icon here that shows the feed dogs that they're currently in place, but there's a little switch over at the side. Once I click that, then the icon shows me that, oh, the feed dogs have dropped. And now it's recommending I put on the PDH foot, which is our darning foot, which I've demonstrated on the, again, A to Z with Janome series. It's the P foot, or specifically the PDH foot. So I demoed that.
It's also the one I use for thread drying. It's very good.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yes. Tanya did a little series called Sewing with Ginger Q. So you can also go back to, again, IGTV icon of Janome HQ Instagram page or the Janome HQ YouTube channel to review Tanya doing some fabulous free motion quilting and thread painting with this darning foot. Now, since we're on that, how about we just scan down and see what's included with the machine? There is so much. Number 1, a stylist, which I love using. Yes, you can use your finger for the screen to make the selections, but does include with a stylist. This is our buttonhole foot, automatic buttonhole foot R. And again, I reviewed the buttonhole foot in the A to Z with Janome series. Oh, things like our M foot, which is our overcast or over edge foot. Again, I demoed on A to Z with Janome. So then we've got, oh yes, the rolled hem foot and the satin stitch foot, or sometimes called the craft foot, is the F foot. The T, the button sewing foot, is very cute. It's got this little rubbery grip on the bottom, so it will hold your button in place. So as you do the little zigzag to attach your button, nothing is moving. So that's wonderful. The E, the zipper foot, or the G foot is one of my favorites, the blind hem foot, but I also use this foot for edge stitching. So you can go back to the A to Z with Janome series for the G episode and see how I set up the machine in order to do edge stitching with that G foot. And then, yes, we've got our 1/4 inch foot, the O foot with the guide. So everything is very accurate. So that's wonderful. And then our P foot is the embroidery foot. In some machines, it's a metal foot. In this machine, it's a plastic clear foot. So we can easily see where the needle is positioned and what's happening there. So again, as a 3-in-1 machine, sewing, quilting, and embroidery, you've got a little bit of quilting feet, you've got a little bit of regular sewing feet, and you have your embroidery foot. Now we also have this yellow dot. There's a little yellow dot there, and there's also a little yellow triangle there. This is the high tension bobbin holder. So the regular bobbin holder that's in the machine is a red dot. And this yellow dot bobbin holder is sometimes recommended for embroidery. If you're doing embroidery and you start seeing your bobbin thread is coming up to the top, and you're seeing a little bit of that bobbin thread and you certainly don't want that, then switch out to this yellow dot bobbin holder. It's about 20% higher tension, so it'll pull those needle threads to the bobbin, so then you're not going to see them. So you can switch this out very easily. In fact, if you want to just scan over here, Tanya, if I pull away our extension drawer here, our little accessory case where all your goodies can fit in the accessory case, but so now I have a free arm by removing that accessory case, but when you need to change your bobbin holder, when you need to clean your bobbin area, we have the one-touch needle plate removal. Just boom, and it's gone. Like, how simple, how easy is that? I take off my needle plate, I take out my bobbin holder, and I do whatever cleaning I need to do, and then pop in my yellow dot bobbin holder, and then this needle plate. if you've ever wondered, here's our fabulous patented needle plate that has a lot of convenient markings as well. So there's a marking of like 1/4 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch. But if you've ever wondered, what's that little bullseye for? This is the little bullseye that when you put your needle plate back in the machine, you're going to put your finger on that little bullseye to then click it into place. And the wonderful thing is, again, the machine tells you, oh, make sure that the proper presser foot is attached. So again, the great thing about these more sophisticated machines is they do some thinking for you. They talk to you to make sure that you're not going to make any mistakes. Now, speaking of bobbins and bobbin holders, there is a cleaner, and it specifically does say cleaner, this little vial. It is paraffin distillate, specifically. Now, you can get this as well in a separate little package like this from your Janome dealer. I wrote a blog on our Janome Life blog entitled, Don't Forget the Bobbin Area. So you can go to Janome Life and type in the little search box to the right, don't forget the bobbin area, or just type in bobbin area, and that blog post will come up. This little cleaner, this little vial of cleaner, is to help wipe off the lint and any kind of residue that may be on your bobbin holder. You'll use it down in your bobbin area to clean and help, again, get rid of the lint.
Craig has a question.
Oh, yes.
He says, does it have an extension table?
Oh, there is not an extension table included with the machine, but there is an extension table available. So yes, if I remove this, then there's several different configurations. If you have this machine in our universal side table, for example, there is the insert that will fit around it, or then there is a separate extension table that's up on legs that will fit around this as well. So you can double check with your Janome dealer. Also jump on to the janome.ca site for our bilingual accessories guide. And then you can see all the fabulous accessories that are available for this machine. So yes, great question. Some machines come with the extension table, or yes, that's an add-on. In fact, again, the 9850 is great for again, there's a little bit of everything, and then as an optional accessories, depending on what your interests, there's more. There's always more. So double check with your Janome dealer. So yeah, so that specifically is cleaner, whereas oil is something entirely different. And again, there's more information in that Don't Forget the Bobbin Area post about, oiling your machines, and certainly in a sophisticated machine like this, you're really not going to be oiling it. But as a matter of interest, Janome has Janome sewing machine oil. So people ask me, what kind of oil would I use? Well, you don't want to use cooking oil, no vegetable oil, no 3-in-1 motor oil. You want good quality sewing machine oil. So available from your Janome dealer is Janome sewing machine oil. So that way it's good. Or again, you simply just take your machine in to be serviced. Now, I realize because of the recent, lockdowns and everything, that's a little more challenging, but certainly when, lockdowns are done, you definitely take your machine in to be serviced. Now, other accessories included, we've got the extra spool pin, so then we can wind our bobbins without having to unthread the needle. We've got the extra spool caps, extra Janome J bobbins are always great to use. Ooh, the quilting guide bar, which I love. And of course, our basic accessories like the scissors and the seam ripper, the little brush to clean out your bobbin area, the screwdriver. And again, these are my beautiful mini duckling scissors, so as an optional accessory, those are always good. But your machine does come with some scissors here, so that is great. Also, this little packet of needles. And this is a good smorgasbord of needles of our Janome red tip, which is a size 14. I use that for about 90% of my sewing. But we also have our Janome purple tip needle that has the flared cobra head, which is great to use for, when you're doing free motion quilting and if you're getting some skip stitches. Or if you're sewing of any kind and getting some skip stitches, the purple tip needle will eliminate those. Then we've got our blue tip as size 11, great to use for embroidery, also great to use for knit fabrics. They have a slight ball point to them. We also have a twin needle. And the great thing about this 9850, if we go then back up to our screen here, we have this little twin needle guard. So right now, the icon that is most prominent is the single needle, because we're just doing regular sewing. But if I click this icon, then the twin needle becomes more prominent. And then, oh, look. I'll switch that back so you can see. Here's my regular screen of my stitches, and I can select, you know, my zigzag stitches. But when I go up here to my twin needle guard and click, all those zigzag stitches, or the majority of them, you know, will disappear. We can do some zigzag stitches with twin needles, but the wider ones, like the overcast stitches, then no, we're not able to use it. So again, a machine like the 9850, if you're still like you know, you're more than a beginner sewer, but you're not really quite advanced, and you're thinking like, oh no, this may be too sophisticated for me, then again, the machine will do some thinking for you. So by having that twin needle guard is a safety feature. So basically it won't allow you to select a stitch that isn't compatible with using the twin needle. So again, a great feature. And then to cancel it, you just hit it again and it's saying, oh, are you sure you want to do that? Yes. So lots of choices. We have our little decorative icon, and then we go into our applique stitches, our quilting stitches, our satin stitches, or scroll through the play stitches. How fun of those. There's so much we can do. For things like, oh yes, our play stitches, for example, our decorative stitch, we've got the cute little shoe, and I'll quickly pop this off. I've got my shoe selected. It's telling me to use the F foot, which is the satin stitch foot there, that has a little groove on the bottom. So then my decorative stitches can form. So then if I'm going to do my little shoes, for example, oh, and I suppose, is it thread? Oh, and it can, this is another good thing. Talk about, yes, I didn't quite check my threading. My thread has come out of my take-up lever. So isn't it convenient to have this little trap door when I noticed, oh, something was not sounding right.
Yeah, the door on the end is amazing.
So yes, not all of our machines have this feature, but isn't that wonderful that they do? So yes, let me quickly stitch this. So you'll see I lock my machine and get my needle threader. That things like this, you know, happen to all of us, even when we're doing live
always when we're doing
Instagrams. Yeah, so let's hope I can get this threaded quickly with our fabulous needle threader to get this back to normal.
She loves the door. It really makes a difference. You can see.
And I unlock that, and then, oh yes, we good. Yes, let's start again. Because again, things like that happen. Oh, there, doesn't that make much more sense? That sounds a lot better. So if you're wondering, hey, why does my machine make some noise? The take-up lever is the first thing I check. So yes, as I'm doing my beautiful shoe, then the fun thing is, if we hit our lock button, then it's going to sew my pattern completely, and then it's going to stop. So I can go to my LCD screen and say, okay, that row of shoes was cool, but then I can hit the mirror button. So I can mirror it vertically, as well I can mirror it horizontally. So you're basically increasing the number of stitches by being able to, some are being able to be manipulated, again, horizontally and vertically. So how cool is that? So just by these little icons up here that I can change it, again, vertically or horizontally. So how cool is that? So there's so much you can do. Again, the scissor button, we love that. It makes it so convenient. So there's our beautiful line of stitching. So again, lots that you can do. So it's almost like doubling your stitches.
And then you don't have to take the project out and move it around if you wanted to.
Oh, exactly. I don't have to flip around my fabric. I can flip around my stitches. So again, that's another great advantage to having a more like sophisticated machine.
Yes.
We've got things like, oh, our little t-shirt is the sewing applications button. So that is like saying, well, what do you want to do? So if I want to do, oh, an over edge seam, for example, using that M foot, and my machine tells me to use the M foot. Again, the M foot I demonstrated on the A to Z with Janome series. It was the M episode. Then again, all I have to do is click one button and boom, I'm ready to go. Or back to my sewing applications. Oh, I want to sew on a button, as I was saying earlier with the T foot, the button sewing foot. I just click this button there, and then it's telling me lower the feed dog. So I reach around, lower the feed dogs, snap my T button sewing foot into place, and away I go. So simple, so easy. The machine, the sewing applications in specific, takes a lot of the guesswork out of how to set up your machine. Now, certainly we can set up our machines and a lot of customizing in the settings, and then when we want to switch over to embroidery, so simple, so easy. I click the icon with the two sewing machines. One represents regular sewing, the other represents the embroidery. Now it's telling me, oh, your carriage arm is not open. So if I'm ready to embroider, all I have to do is hit the little button, open the carriage arm, and click OK. Like, so simple. Make sure everything is away. Definitely do that. So then I'm already set up for embroidery. I'm going to, again, remove my, my presser foot and replace it with my P foot. And we're ready to do some embroidery. Like all of our Janome machines, combo machines or embroidery only machines, the design category is always the little flower. The monograms are always ABC. When you want to edit the pattern, it's always in the little grid. So those icons are the same for all Janome embroidery machines. When I click in designs, oh yes, we can scroll through. There's I think it's 175 built-in designs. But again, there is a USB port in the machine, so we can also import our own. So we can scroll through the designs this way. Just by scrolling through the screens, we can hit the little flower icon that will categorize into geometric designs, for example, pantry designs. Oh, there's some quilting designs, some fringe flowers, or that floral alphabet that I absolutely love. So we will categorize it, again, by design, or we can click the little hoop icon down here, and it'll sort by hoops. Now, your 9850 comes with the 5x5, the SQ14A, and SQ is square. So the square 14A hoop. So the machine comes with, but then also as an optional accessory is the RE20A hoop, which is 6x7 by 7.9. So it is a larger hoop. So this is available as an optional accessory. Now, just to keep you all confused, there is also a 9850 special edition, a 9850 SE, that already comes with this hoop. That's why it's a special edition hoop, or a special edition model. That sometimes the 9850, for example, on the shopping channel not too long ago, Jennifer Tryon had the 9850 SE, the special edition, and she had some Madeira thread bundles. Oh, it was amazing. And this optional hoop, you know, it came with the machine as a package. The regular 9850 machine as it is, it's the same machine. It just depends on if it's special edition. It comes with a couple of bonuses. So the regular 9850 comes with the one hoop, and then you would get the second hoop as an optional accessory if you wish. So then that's great. Then we've got our hoop here of how we can choose our design. And the wonderful thing is, Not only will you find lots of information in your instruction manual that tells you everything about the machine, but we also have these great quick reference cards. There is one for embroidery and there is one for regular sewing. Now the Skyline S9 also has similar cards, and the top of the line Memorycraft 15,000 Quilt Maker. So again, you're getting a lot of those top of the line features in your 9850. And these quick reference cards, these are great. I keep mine for my 15,000 on a little clip ring next to my machine, because let's say you're not always going to be doing embroidery, or you're not even going to be sewing every day, and you may forget, oh, what do all those buttons mean? Well, you have these quick reference cards, so that's great. And again, full instructions in the manual. But also included is this great CD. It's called Template Sheets. So you load this into your computer. It is for Windows-based computers. And if you have a laptop, my new work laptop, for example, does not have a CD drive built in. So just from the office supply store, it was about maybe $25. I bought a external CD reader, so was able to plug that into my laptop so I could load this software onto my laptop. And it has even instructions that you can print out how to use the templates that are included on the CD. So you can print that out. And then here's an example of the little template from that floral alphabet, that they give you the orientation with the arrow pointing up is the same orientation of your hoop. There's always a little arrow on all Janome hoops. There's always a little arrow up here on the inner hoop and the outer hoop with the arrow up. So then this crosshairs of your template represents this crosshairs of your gridded template here. So this will help you line up your designs perfectly. So, and again, there's instructions on that CD that will tell you how to do that. And there's even this template reference chart. Yes, look at all these gorgeous designs. These are all the designs built into your machine. So they are all on that CD of the template sheets. So you can print this out as well for reference. Now in the back of your manual too, again, there's so much. In the back of your manual, there is also a reference sheets as well. So you can always find the information there. Now, for more information about the 9850, or then there's 9850 Special Edition. Now, again, they're the same machine, just the Special Edition model came out with, again, that extra hoop was included, and again, was recently on the shopping channel. But then here, for more information on the machine itself, 9850, you can go to our janome.ca website, and then you type in 9850, and up comes all the specs. And then you can print out the sheet that, you know, lists all the specifications and all the, you know, how many designs and specific features the machine has. So then you can see, oh yes, that's really, I think, the machine for me. And then certainly double check with our Janome dealers, you know, while we're still in lockdown, you know, you're not able to go into the store. But certainly as soon as the lockdowns, you know, lift a little bit, that you can do in person, you can, you know, book a test drive and have a see to make sure that the 9850 is the machine for you. So yes,
We're going to do the bags.
Oh yes, thank you. This is why I love Tanya here, because again, I'm thinking, I'm mindful of the time, but I'm so glad Tanya's here. So yes, I wanted to show again very quickly, ooh, so I don't run over my mic. But yeah, so for your fabulous 9850, for example, if you are going to eventually be traveling and going to, you know, classes, maybe you're going to be taking a class here in person at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center, or even if you have maybe multiple machines or you don't have a dedicated sewing room, you need something, ooh, beautiful, safe, dry, secure, you know, free from the dust, means to store and transport your machine. So from your Janome dealer, you can get these fabulous two-door cases, and then this is the 22-inch case. So your 9850 fits in perfectly. Ta-da! Yes. Now this is the skeleton of the 9850, and I love it. Our technician Mark gave me this, and he labeled it that this is the 9850. So this is what your 9850 starts out as, this cast aluminum base, just like all Janome machines, a cast aluminum base, and then again all the pretty pieces are added to it. But this 22-inch two-door roller bag easily will accommodate your machine. What I love about the Tudo bags, there's so many, there's all these pockets on the inside, pockets on the outside. You know, you've got the great wheels that will spin around, the big handle. So it's basically a piece of luggage for your machine. Now also available, ooh, this beautiful case. I love this. This is like a briefcase in a bag. So if you're then going to, again, classes or retreats, or just to keep all your projects together, is this beautiful Tudo bag. Again, we've got room here for the cell phone and the pens and pencils and everything. But to me, this is just like a bag like a photographer would use, that it's nicely padded, so all your equipment is protected. There is room in here for your embroidery carriage. Maybe can I pick this up a little bit? So there's room in here for your embroidery carriage. It fits in perfectly. Your instruction manual and all that would fit in perfectly. Now this is the foot pedal that comes with your machine. But you know, the foot pedal I've been using is that big extra large white foot pedal. So that will also fit your 9850, again, as an optional accessory. But this is the foot pedal that comes with the machine. So especially when you're going to a class or a retreat, don't forget the foot pedal. So that can fit in there.
Evelyn Fiedler said, I wish I would have had one of those trolleys this morning. I took my Janome in for its yearly servicing.
Oh, yes. That's another good reason to have a trolley. Yes, when you take your machine in. Yes, totally. Well, Evelyn, I know where you can get these trolleys. So, yes, check with your Janome dealer. And again, room for, oh, yes, fabulous, like our Helios Iris thread pack, for example, that so all your project pieces, your thread, as you're working on a quilt or a garment or whatever, all of those pieces could fit in this bag. There's, again, so much storage in here. So this is a great way to transport your machine, or again, safely store it at home. If you're moving, or yes, taking your machine into your Janome dealer, then it's going in style. So yeah, so thank you, Tanya, for reminding me to remember these bags, because I think they're a great accessory for no matter what Janome machine you have. There's basically a Tudo bag that will fit them all, including the big Continental M7. So yes, check with your dealer and they can definitely fix you up there. So yes, thank you everyone for joining me. Tanya, if you want to flip around and say goodbye. And lovely. Thank you so much for joining me for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. Again, the time just flies, but that's because we love it. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you all next week for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And again, what will it be? Oh, I don't know. It's a mystery. So thank you everyone for joining me. Enjoy your fabulous day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.